My name is Thomas Macintyre. I am part of an NGO that's called Transitional Minds. And I started this NGO together with my partner, Marta Chavez, about 4 years ago. We're interested in exploring and promoting grassroots communities that are trying to put into practice more sustainable ways of living, more sustainable lifestyles, both in cities but also in the countryside. We have become closely aligned with another network that's called Casa Colombia. This stands for the Council of Sustainable Initiatives of Latin America. And they bring together a diverse number of projects, initiatives, communities and individuals across many different cultures, ethnicities and locations around Colombia with the goal of trying to co-create more sustainable ways of living, but together. So really trying to bring on the great diversity of ideas and practices which make up Colombia. And this network CASA, they have many events during the year where they meet, network gatherings, as well as within themselves and between them and other projects, trying to forge alliances around certain issues which are important in Colombia at the moment. Probably the most important issue at this moment is the issue of the armed conflict in Colombia. So Colombia has been through about 60 years of armed conflict. A lot of problems with leftist groups. They're called the FARC, who have had armed resistance against the government for about 60 years. And together with other paramilitary groups and government apparatus, this has been devastating for the country. There's been a lot of internal wars, displaced people, a lot of crime and violence. But at this moment, these different partners have come together and they're about to, hopefully, conclude a peace process. So Colombia is now at the cusp of a very historical situation where they, after over 60 years of internal war, are going to reach a peace agreement. This is very exciting, but at the same time it's going to open up for a huge number of post-conflict challenges. Colombia has, despite its huge biological and cultural diversity, it also has a lot of problems in terms of poverty, malnutrition, climate change, energy problems, brought on by a lot of neoliberal processes, which the country which is sort of the model which the country is based on. We see our own NGO, Transitional Minds, and our connection with this CASA network and other projects as a way of bringing practical examples as well as alliances of people who want to not just talk about change but really put it into practice. We are really excited by this transformative, transgressive network and this project, because even though people want to create change, even though people can imagine and visualize, different ways of living, practicing permacultural techniques to produce their own food and to, landscape restoration, being able to create their own renewable energy, creating networks, which promote peace. Even though people have all these ideas, putting them into practice is very difficult because there's a lot of structural restraints. You have a country that's very neoliberal. It's very difficult for people to it's okay to imagine and to visualize, but to put it into practice and really make it real and sustainable is difficult when there are so many structural constraints in terms of economy, in terms of politics, local politicians, as well as the mentality, which many people are struggling with. So what really I think is the focus of this transformative, transgressive network, this project, is how to address and overcome what they call these nexus issues, and how to create more of a learning-based change as a way of being able to, let's say, transgress all these social, political, environmental and ecological barriers which people are facing today. This project has been running for about 4 years now, and we've really focused on the intercultural aspects of this network called CASA. When people with many different worldviews, ontologies, indigenous knowledge, knowledge from Afro-Colombian communities, from peasant communities, people from the city, urban professionals, how these people can come together in a space and enter a dialogue in which types of learning can take place which transform and transgress people. This is great, but at the same time, what we're interested in, what we want to really understand and hopefully promote, is that these encounters of difference, that the transformative or transgressive processes which take place within these encounters can be replicated or scaled up in the communities from which these people come from. So imagine people from all over Colombia coming together through an intercultural event, eating together, talking together, dancing together, really co-living. How they can bring this knowledge and these transformations back to their own communities and set about greater, in their own, how they can bring it back to their own spheres of influence and really drive greater processes of learning. And that's something that's very, very difficult, very challenging, but that's what we really want to achieve during this project.